And you know that today is Super Bowl Sunday. Well, every Sunday is a Super Bowl Sunday at Unity in the City.
Yes, it is.
And when we have the Reverend Carlos, it's an extra Super Bowl Sunday. So Reverend Carlos, namaste to you. Spirits in the house.
My brother would like me to use the microphone, and it's a little inhibiting for me not to just be able to freestyle and float around. So I need to ask you publicly, do you really need me to use this?
Oh, no, put it back. I already set up something else, so you're fine.
Before I tell you what I want to tell you, I must tell you what I must tell you. Which is that I wasn't scheduled to be here, as you know, last Sunday. I want you to know how difficult it was for me not to just show up. I do. Because each day, several times during the day, I would say, hey bro, I think I just got to hop on in that rig and get on to Boston, get to Brookline. Even though I'm not scheduled to be there, just to sit with my brothers and my sisters, to be in the field of love, and to be blessed by Colette's amazing, amazing affirmations and meditations. You have already filled my cup to running over. So I actually had made a distinct decision. I am not going to go to Hope, where I knew they wanted to bring a couple of songs. I am going to Boston, and that's along about that time that I made the final decision. Timothy's daughter, Sienna, who is absolutely one of my favorite people on the planet. She's 6 years old. She walked into my room and said, as though she could hear my mind thinking I'm leaving on Sunday morning, she walked into my room on Saturday and said, don't forget, Baba, I have my gymnastics competition tomorrow, and you didn't make the last one and said you were going to make the next one. So at that moment I knew, oh, I won't be getting into the driving Brookline. But for you all's information, it took one of my favorite people on the planet, who was 6 years old and had a gymnastics meet, to get me not to get in the car and be with you last week. That's how much you mean to me. And I just want to cap that off with saying that when the board first asked me if I would consider becoming pretty much a permanent part of this ministry, and to sign on to not just be a guest speaker, but to actually put my heart and soul into being a part of Unity in the City, I told the board, for some strange reason, you all rise to the top, like that cream that rises to the top when you milk a cow and then leave the milk sitting in a glass. There is something about you all. I was grateful that Colette reminded you all that Unity in the City is not Carlos, it's not the board, it's you all. I love reminding Unity people of a couple of the scriptures that are, I think, beautiful scriptures, and I'm glad that they have the word unity in them, which is the name of this beautiful ministry, this mind-changing, this life-transforming ministry that we are all a part of. And one of those scriptures is, oh, how good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. Oh, how good, and can't you feel it? Oh, how good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. Another scripture is, where there is unity, there is peace. Where there is unity, there is peace. Interestingly enough, we can be in a sanctuary called Unity, but if we do not have peace in our hearts while we are there, we're not really in unity. We're in a space called unity, which is an invitation for each and every one of us to make sure that you bring your highest self here. And your highest self will be at different levels at different times. We have often said that the best you and I can do sometime is to crawl to an arena of transformation, so that we might be uplifted if we crawl in on our belly, that we will at least get up on our knees. to bring the highest self here. Your highest self will be different when everything in your world is going well and the people you love are loving you, and you get a good report from the doctor and a good report from your lawyer. When you are in radiant health, your best self will be different in that moment than it will be in a moment when you perhaps have just watched a loved one take their last breath. When you have been let go of a job that you love and the income has gone away with the job. So there are different levels, but it is always possible for us to go to the highest possible level of demonstration given the situation. I love the fact that you recommended that the 5 unity principles be read. If you read those principles and look at them, one thing that's very clear is that if you have really, really got these 5 principles in your heart, you will see that it is doggone near impossible for anything to rattle you. If you really know that there's one power, that you're connected to that one power, that thoughts are things, and that you are creating your experience of reality, and that you have the capacity to raise your thoughts to meet the high thoughts of God the good, and therefore it will outpicture in your life as prosperity, as peace, as all things good and perfect. And you know that you have to put feet on your faith. You have to walk your talk. If you know that these 5 principles are the truth, it's really, really difficult to get rattled by anything that might show up in your manifest reality. If you, on the other hand, do not have these principles deeply residing in your heart, it's easy to get rattled. It does not take much at all to rattle us when we are in the space of forgetting who we are and whose we are. If we are in the space of forgetting that all of the power of God is available to us, it's easy to get rattled. And we are here, brothers and sisters, to take on such strength, such power, such authority, that we become examples in our households. We become examples in our communities. We become examples at our workplaces. We